Hey guys, and welcome back to a Random Introvert Online. Today, the topic of the video is going to be shoes for the streets. This term was coined by men who wanted to properly introduce their girlfriends to their friends, but little did they know their friends already know her on a very intimate level. This type of girl normally lives in an area for a long time, long enough for the people in the area to know what she's doing, long enough to be friends and maybe even more with a lot of the people from the area. So she's been with almost everyone just because that's like her options, that place in particular. And they're also very familiar with the area and the streets and everything that comes with that. So much so that men actually praise the girls who use Google Maps in their car and not just drive knowing the area very well. Because, they don't spend so much time in the streets. And also, men say avoid the girls who know the names of many barbershops. It is a known fact that men will sleep with almost anything that moves, but when they want to go settle down, they will settle down with the girl who has less in common with all the girls that he's been with before, making him for the streets, right? But men tend to use, excuses such as, I need practice. So all his life he's just practicing for his wife, right? Now this practice has been facilitated to men by hookup culture, where the girls and the guys were encouraged to, just sleep around. So it prevailed in college campuses. So due to, lack of supervision, all those young adults being so pumped of hormones, the access to the other gender, drugs, alcohol, protection, which is a recipe for disaster, i.e. so much so that usually every guy returning home, he's probably returning with someone. But the thing is about college is that you can actually leave it and leave everything that you did behind. No, you can't, no one will know unless you get pregnant or get a disease. So when you go back home, no one knows what you did. So the labeling of she's for the street comes as a realization after the person ticks all the right marks. But with time, you start to see that some things are just not adding up. Some of these things, maybe she has too many guy friends, instead that girls are just a lot of drama. Or when she's not with you, she can't answer the phone most of the time and gives excuses, a lot of excuses, that why she can't answer at all when she's away, and being very protective of the phone, so you can't touch it. If someone calls, you would quickly snatch it. If you by any chance go near the phone, she's gonna run to take it away from you. What are you hiding? Some of the other red flags men also describe are, having too many nude pictures on Instagram, having a Snapchat to begin with. We all know what that app is for. Keeping contact with her ex, so much so that some men start saying, I miss that guy with how much she talks about him. And the thing is, with girls who keep contact with their ex, they are one message away from leaving you. Babe, wanna get back together?
Oh
Yeah. And women who party every weekend. So what's wrong with having multiple partners? It's a known fact that you don't ask a girl what you did in college. It's also common here when girls go to university far away from home. This newfound freedom of theirs can easily be exploited. Since being in university means being exposed to all these, you get to see the world at large, and you also get to see the material things that you want as a girl. But the thing is that comes with being a college student is that you're also very broke. Instone men have exploited this little loophole in this scheme to their benefit, so they're offering money in exchange for, you get the picture. So let alone in the West, where this culture of hookup and drinking and exploring and experimenting is encouraged heavily, it's gonna be worse in there. University years are all about experiences, but some people return home equipped with more sexual knowledge than actually what they majored in. And so once, the women know their way around bars and getting drunk and trying alcohol and how to get things from guys, it's a hard habit to kill. It's almost impossible for that girl to return to her old innocent self that knew nothing and that was naive and preserved. She can act, yeah, that's an option, but she just can't get it out of her system. And I've seen this a lot in my life as well. All the girls who, had a period of time where they lived alone and did whatever they wanted. After they got married, they didn't really get married for a long period of time, as opposed to the ones that didn't get that. It's not it depends really on how deeply you get involved in that life, in that lifestyle, in that way of living. But they almost nearly never really, value their marriage as a the final stage of life and the final lifestyle that they're going to have, because they're already experienced at being, alone, and they know their way around town, where to get the good guys, the guys with money and things like that. And so it's really a hard pattern to kill, and I think that's where the name She's for the Street comes from, because that's what she knows best. That's the software she's running on. So asking this type of woman to be a housewife is usually a bad idea. And this reflects in pop culture as well, such as reality show where people are dating a new person every week, or in music like "And There You Go," "Oh, can't make a wife out of a hoe," "Oh, I don't want a copyright claim on this video just because of this small line, so I'm just gonna not add music to this." So what's fueling all of this? There's two keywords to this, which are access and celebration. The access to both drugs, women, contraceptives, alcohol, and also the culture advocating for this type of lifestyle. But so much damage can come from this, from getting pregnant, contracting diseases, dying, getting poisoned, rape allegations. And then there's the media that brainwashes you into somehow thinking that having a high body count is actually empowering. It was never empowering for men to begin with, let alone women. So everyone gets to practice life creating rituals with no consequences or attachment or any strings attached. Doing the deed is way bigger than we actually minimize it to be. Its effects are way beyond comprehension on both physical levels and mental levels and spiritual levels as well. Yet all people take from it somehow is how good it feels. But having your soul tainted again and again and again is somehow worthless? Do I sound like a monk? So whenever a woman has a high body count in a small geographical area, everybody knows who she's been with and what she does. Been there, did that. Or no man would want to introduce her to his mother, because the mom may know as well. And maybe did that too, been there, did that. So with no place to find love or settle down, except North Africa and the Middle East. And by the way, I can help you with that because I'm a marriage matchmaker. Because women in these areas preserve themselves, and as much as they give before marriage, you still know that there's a law that they haven't given. So yeah, the man can't find a proper person to settle down with, so he's not gonna stay without doing anything, so he just continues the cycle of the hookup culture. So in the end, these women are left complaining, why isn't he not introducing me to his mother? Why no one ever wants to date me? Why am I just a girl that everyone wants to sleep with but not actually take on a proper date? Why he never introduces me to his friends? His friends already know you. But the fear is real. These men know that these women know their way around the streets. They are street smart once they wife them up. And like the smallest thing happens, they will leave them and leave with half of their belongings. Because they have no loyalty for the marriage. They know they can find someone else and maybe do better, and they know that they have the options and they know where to find the men. As whereas someone who hasn't been through that, hoe phase, that they actually want to settle down, and because they're not used to like changing partners every week, they actually prefer the long term, and they appreciate the longevity of relationships. So in the end, the women that belong to the streets are left for the streets. And unfortunately, this is also trickling down to our societies, with especially fatherless families where the girls are left to be exploited because the mothers are working all day, and the girls, they're getting peer pressured into buying nice things, but they can't, so they go to men for that. So I wonder, where does it stop? Let me know if you guys agree, what you guys think about all of this, and I'll see you in the next video.